Hey, decision makers. Uh, so happy Sabbath. Nice to say. It is nice to say. Okay, so Friday, January 22nd, 2021. This is the Friday study, and this is Sabbath. This is a time to learn how to relax. Just explore your bed and your blankets. Make them new, or something. Something nice. Anyway, a good way to learn how to do relaxing. You know, it's an achievable thing. So sometimes there are steps in different ways that make it the better relaxing experience. And it is for everyone, so there's always something to learn from someone else. Okay, so this is a discussion question. Um, Discuss the issue of spiritualism as it appears in movies, books, TV, and popular culture. If nothing can be done to stop it, how can we alert others to the dangers of what for so many people seem like harmless distractions, nothing more? Why is a proper understanding of the state of the dead so important in being protected against these deceptions? Read Isaiah 8:20, rephrase it in your own words. Let different people in the class read their versions aloud. What is the Lord telling us here? Dwell more on this idea of loving and fearing God at the same time. In what ways does our love stem from that fear, or does our fear stem from our love? Discuss. And now, for me, fear is reverential awe. So that's what they're saying is like dwell more on this idea of loving and fearing God at the same time. So it's a form of humility, if I'm not mistaken. Because I mean, to use the parental-child scenario, parents love their children. They don't exactly observedly tend to revere them. Um, but anyway, that's an example of not at the same time loving and fearing. Um, but I guess the idea would be if someone fears someone, they have reverential awe. They're just like they'd be like, wow, this tiny little body is learning new for themselves, and wow, they're really coming up against the world right now, and they might not even know, and they're still getting through the day, and wow, I really like to be around them and do something nice for them because, well, I think they deserve it. You know, like that's a form of reverential awe, fear, and love. So, anyway, um, if nothing can be done to stop it. Now, if something needs to be stopped, there's probably a way to stop it. I would think. So this is for me. I'm glad it's a discussion because I don't really grasp this whole scenario here, but I'll try. So, so yeah, spiritualism. How can we alert others to the dangers of what for so many people seem like harmless distractions, nothing more? I mean, Santa Claus. Let's go back there for a sec. As far as spiritualism goes, I mean, it's tough for me because the word spirit is thrown around so much. And here, they're making the spirit an issue, or at least the term, and spiritualism, and I don't know, it just sounds complicated. I don't know what they mean exactly by spiritualism, but I guess it's like well, like Santa Claus, like they make something that it's not. You know, maybe this guy was someone along like Saint Valentine, right? He like married people that weren't like supposed to be married, and but like for love he did it anyway because he's like, well, they love each other and they want to be together, so he did that, right? And maybe there was a Santa Claus that, maybe there's a saint and he did some good stuff, and great. But it's it's become something far more than a guy doing a good deeds. And so yeah, the dangers, and that's the thing. Like, it's just like there's this. I guess it comes back to the pandemic right now, this COVID-19 or China virus or whatever the scenario may be. We all know where it came from. Um, there were just so many conditions to make that happen that were happening before this pandemic happened. And that would be the danger, right? Where so many people are like, oh, it's just like, so we don't know if everyone is of our nation, in our nation. No big deal. We don't know how many people are here. We don't know who's coming or going. Like, to me, those are all red flags. Like, it just goes back to the micro of it. Like, and that's the thing, is looking at the micro of it. But a family being like, well, there's a family of four. There's two parents and two children. Well, one's not here right now, but I mean, well, who knows where they are? Oh well, like that. It's irresponsible, is what it sounds like. It sounds like the concept of people saying, oh, well, you can't, can't heal the world, can't fix the world, can't change the world or whatever. But it's like, okay, but what about in your own community? Can you know everyone on your block? Can you know their names? Can you know where they're from? Like, it just starts the hood, just the local group of people. Like one point, people would have block parties and they'd invite their neighbors and know each other. And well, with the pandemic, that would be still certainly doable, probably. I mean, it depends on the block, right? But anyway, it depends on who's leading that party. Leading the party. So anyway, so many people seem like nothing more. Um, how can you alert others to the dangers? Yeah, I guess just talking, just saying, hey, you know, does it make sense to go into some rapids, some very fast water with no life jacket? Or does it make sense to just stay on the side of the beach in the sunlight? Like, that type of conversation where it's like, what's a safer thing to do? Just proposing the question, and at least you'll know, and you can keep your distance if they're not safe. So that protects yourself and your family, and then gives you an idea of where they are at. Are they close to making good choices? Are they making good choices? Does it appear to be impossible for them to make good choices? Did they make good choices in the past? Just the whole spectrum of what's happening. So why is a proper understanding of the state of the dead so important in being protected against these deceptions? Now, the idea that I comprehend of the dead is people are resting, second coming of Jesus comes, and Jesus resurrects them, and then we're all together again. That's the best case scenario. So you're resting, you wake up, hey, everyone I ever loved, neat. And then, yeah, so is Santa Claus dead or alive, I guess? Comes back to why is a proper understanding of the state of the dead so important in being protected against these deceptions. Anyway, I'll leave that for discussion, because I think I've made it pretty clear what I'm trying to say. Oh, I minimized. Okay. So then there's Isaiah 8:20. Consult God's instruction and the testimony of warning. If anyone does not speak according to this word, they have no light of dawn. Well, if you think about all the things that happen in the dawn, that's a busy person. They have a busyness to them. There's the light. There's like getting out in the light, getting stuff done, right? So if they have no light, maybe they're not getting stuff done. So anyway, consult God's instruction, right? So to me, it's just thinking and thinking and thinking again and again, not to an unhealthy level, but just to the point where it's just a rethought, details gathered, facts gathered, and the person just thinks, oh, should I go for a little walk? You know, should I wash some laundry? Just the simple stuff, right? Consult God's instruction. Does He want you to be ready, to think ahead and be prepared? You know, maybe plan a little staycation, do the local tourism thing. I mean, in this one example would be, I guess, God's instruction. Do you get immunized? Isn't there some place in South America where they're like, oh, no more mumps here? They start vaccinating, and then, oh, hey, mumps are back. Well, how'd that get there? So, that's the whole concern for some people is vaccinating. And what would God want you to do? Would He want you to be sick? Do the research, I guess, and the testimony of warning. What are other people saying that got this vaccination? Just that kind of thing, Let different people in the class read their versions aloud. So this is where you guys can say stuff. What is the Lord telling us here? I think I summarized that. Dwell more on this idea of loving and fearing God at the same time. I did that a little. I think that's concepts out there. In what ways does our love stem from that fear? Or does our fear stem from that love? Discuss. Well, when you have fear, reverential awe, or in what ways does our love stem from that fear? Well, it's that whole humility thing, just recognizing someone's talents and then going like, okay, they have a skill. Huh, I admire that. And then do you want to protect that admiration? Or can it just be on its own? And the love, like, do you want to help nourish that that for them, their skills? Or does our fear stem from our love? Fundamentally, right, we're all a loving people. So if we're already being there when we're there, being present for someone when we're with them, can we learn more and develop this new level of reverence that we're just in awestruck, like, wow, they really have a good relationship with God, and I see that. That's a pretty big thing. It's admirable, right? I think it is. So, I guess that's everything. So, bye.